So in this video, we're going to go through how you can scale your solar business to £100,000 a month in revenue in 2026. And so that you know, I'm not just chatting out of my arse, these are some results that we've generated for one of our solar clients in the past 6 weeks. So they've spent just under 29K in ad spend that's gone to Meta, and they've won 43 jobs. Their average order value is about 12K. So they've done just over £500,000 in revenue in the past 6 weeks from 29 grand in ad spend. So let's get into it. First of all, the most basic stuff that you need to make sure you have locked in: a website that actually works. So this is an example of one that we've done for a construction company. So on your website, you want to make sure there's a form that people can fill out where you're actually getting their contact details. The point of the website is to be collecting people's contact details that are arriving on there. So you want a form on the first page where you're getting their name, number, email, and a bit more information about them. When they fill out this form, you need to make sure your team or you is getting sent their information straight away so that you can call them and get them booked in for an appointment. I'd obviously recommend using Go High Level, best CRM in the game, but there's a bunch of others, and you need to make sure you have a nice looking website set up. To make sure you're getting traffic to your website as well, services, so you want to have all of your different services on here, and then your service areas where you actually work in. So then if someone is searching solar installation in Yorkshire, Cambridgeshire, you're actually showing up. So you want to have pages for all of your locations that you work in. Google My Business. So you need to make sure you've got a Google My Business account set up. This is where you're collecting Google reviews, and the more Google reviews that you get, the higher you're going to rank and the more leads that you're going to get. Obviously, you need a CRM to be managing the leads as well. I'd recommend Go High Level. And then, super obvious again, branded uniform and branded vans. Who's going to win the sale? This guy or this guy? Obviously this guy, right? Because he seems more professional, and yeah, you need to have that on lock. So with scaling a solar business or any business, it's, client acquisition is super important of getting sales and clients and customers coming in. But at the same time, you need to be scaling your team, and that's about talent acquisition. A lot of businesses just focus on getting more clients in without making sure they're building up their team. For your solar business, the two main types of roles that you'll be hiring for is sales reps to be sitting the appointments, and then installers, whether that's subcontractors or actual employees that you're bringing onto your team. So the same way that with client acquisition, you're advertising to get leads, you then have a process, a sales system that turns those leads into booked appointments and then turns them into sat appointments and into sales. It's the exact same thing for attracting talent and building a team, that you run adverts, you get applicants, you then shift out some of the crap, and then you have interviews, and then from there you make the hires. And in order to make sure your operations doesn't break, you need to make sure you're scaling your talent acquisition at the same rate as your client acquisition. So figure out how many clients you're trying to sign. Let's say you're trying to do 20 installs a month. How many sales reps do you need to handle that? It could just be one or two. And what does the team of installers need to look like to manage that workload? Because there's no point signing a bunch of clients and then not having the operations dialed in, because you're going to deliver a shit service and not build up a good reputation. So the same way, Meta is incredible, and that's what I'm going to be talking about on the client acquisition piece in this video. Meta is also incredible for hiring talent, and Meta ads are easy and simple to run, and you can literally set up the same process that you use for hiring, for attracting clients, as attracting a team. That you can, script out a video ad of what you're looking for, a hook of, we're looking to hire a solar sales rep, a body of what's included, why you're a good team to work for, what the compensation is, and then a call to action to apply, fill out the form below. And then you're then getting applicants that way. And then speed, the same way speed to lead is super important, speed to applicant is super important, that you want to be getting them booked onto an interview as soon as possible. Or if you're calling them a week after they applied, they might have already found another job. So the same thought process behind attracting clients ties over to talent acquisition as well. Super important. So the actual economics of scaling to 100 grand a month, it's all maths, right? at the end of the day. Let's say you have an average order value of £10,000. So to do 100K in revenue, you would need 10 sales. Let's say your conversion rate on a sales appointment in the home is 25%, 1 out of 4. So to get 10 sales, you would then need to sit 40 appointments over the month. Let's say your appointment sit rate from actual booked appointments is 50%. So then you would need 80 appointments to actually be booked in. And then let's say your conversion rate from lead to appointment is 40%. So then to get 80 appointments, you would need 200 leads. I sort of went from top to or bottom to top. I'll do the other way around. So let's say you want to be doing 10 sales a month and you're getting 200 leads in, and then 40% are then booking an appointment. So you have 80 booked appointments. Let's say then only 50% of them actually sit. An issue with that case study I showed you is their sit rate really isn't very good. The acquisition cost is still solid because we're getting a good cost per lead, a good cost per booked appointment, and their team's really good at sales. But the constraint with them at the moment is the sit rate. So let's say you have a 50% sit rate, you're then going to get 40 appointments, closing 25% of them, 10 sales. Let's then say your cost per lead is £20, then to get 200 leads, you need to be spending 4K a month in ad spend. So that's that. How to actually get leads from Meta. So to start with, any advertising channel can work, right? TikTok ads can work, Google ads can work, Facebook ads can work. It all works. It's just about learning the platform, learning the strategy behind it, and sticking with it. And too many people they'll spend £1,000 on Google and then they'll somehow conclude Google ads don't work because they spent £1,000 with a crap strategy and now they think Google ads don't work. It's not that the platform doesn't work, it's that your strategy on the platform doesn't work. So commit to a platform and just don't give up on it until you cracked it, because there's people that are spending thousands of pounds a day on Meta ads and winning solar sales every single day from it. So with Meta ads specifically, this is what we do for our clients. Just Meta, not Google at the moment. So the main thing with Meta is the creative. The creative is the image or video that you're running. Typically what we found is video ads get better quality leads because you can get your branding out there more, you can get your personality into the videos, and it just builds up more trust. The benefit with image ads is they're super easy to create, so you can test lots of different offers a lot quicker. With the algorithm, so Meta had a recent update, not recent really anymore, I think it was last year, the Andromeda update. What this basically means in a nutshell is targeting is way less important. The targeting used to be important of, demographics and interests that you're putting in there. Now, because Meta's AI algorithm is so OP, so overpowered, the creative does the targeting for you. So if you have a video ad where you're talking about, homeowners that are looking into solar and you're talking about the benefits of solar, guess what? It's going to put that advert in front of homeowners that are interested in solar because there's solar panels in the video ad. So you're talking about solar in it, and their algorithm will put it in front of the right person. So your targeting comes from the creative, the image or video. And obviously people want good quality leads, right? Coming through your advertising. So better quality leads are kind of going to come from video ads. And it also depends on the offer as well, that the offer really dictates the quality of the lead. So there's two types of offers that you can run. You can run direct sales offers that are targeting people that are ready to buy. An example for this could be, 0% finance, 0% interest plus, free bird protection with your solar install, or it could be free EV installation with your solar install. So these direct sales ads are going after the 3% of people that are ready to buy. If you've ever seen like a buying pyramid sort of thing, only 3% of people in a market are ready to buy. The remaining 97% aren't ready to buy yet. Maybe they're not problem aware, they're not solution aware. And if you put a direct sales ad in front of this person, they don't give a shit because they're not ready to buy. So that's why you need to be running educational ads at the same time. There's two sort of types of educational ads that I'd like to think about. One is where the video ad itself is providing value. You're walking through a system and install the savings that they're getting, that the client is getting, and you're actually teaching the audience about solar, how it works, and they're being educated through the video ad itself. So they're getting value from the video. Another way that you can approach, educational ads is through lead magnets or brochures. So I'll show you an example. So it could be the 7 things you must know before going solar, or it could be the ultimate solar installation guide. And then in here, you're educating people and teaching them about solar. So in the video ad, you're saying download this guide and then have automation set up so they get sent a text, an email with a PDF to the guide. They read it, they get value from it, and then when they're ready to buy, they're going to come to you guys. What I was saying about the targeting and how good Meta's targeting is that it's going to put the educational ad in front of people that aren't ready to buy yet. And then once they've consumed that ad, and they're further along the sales process, the buying process, and then they get hit with your direct sales ad with a compelling offer, which Meta's going to put it in front of them when they are ready to buy. Guess what? They're probably going to fill out that ad and buy from you, because you've already built up that trust by providing them value and actually leading with education. So you need to make sure you're running, obviously, direct sales ads to get people ready to buy. But if you're only running that type of ad, you're going to burn through the market, fatigue your audience, and ads, could work really well for a month and then they'll fall off a cliff. So it's super important you have a balanced approach, and your part of your strategy is educational. So variety as well. With what I was saying about the Andromeda update and how to get results, it's all about the creative. You need to be treating Meta as a machine that you're constantly feeding more creatives to, different variations, different styles of image ads, shorter videos, 20-second videos, 1-minute videos, 5-minute videos, longer videos. And the more variety that you can feed Meta, the better results that you're going to get. That's super important. To touch on, a lead form versus a landing page. So a lead form is on Meta or on Instagram. You're not taking them off the platform, and someone sees the ad, they click on it, they click on it on Instagram. They're then staying on Instagram and they fill out the form. The benefit of a lead form is that there's no friction of you're not taking them off the platform, which obviously if you're taking them to a landing page, that's going to take longer to load. With a lead form, it loads instantly. So we typically start with a lead form, and then once we have a good flow of leads coming through, then we can move to a landing page. The benefit of a landing page is you can put your branding on there, and it just builds up a lot more trust. I think sometimes people think that just switching to a landing page is going to fix the lead quality, when it's the advert itself that is attracting that type of person, a poor quality lead. If let's say you're running however many panels for $5,000, 4,995, that's going to get shit quality leads. And if you think just from switching from a lead form to a landing page is then going to screen out those crap leads, it's not, because everyone you're attracting is just looking for the cheapest discount. So if you're having quality issues, it's definitely about the creative or offer. But if you have a big amount of leads coming through, a good volume coming through, and you do want to screen out some of the crap, then switching to a landing page can work well. These are some of the stats that we have on a quiz funnel that we're running on Perspective. Perspective is incredible software for building funnels and landing pages. And as you can see, we are asking how many questions? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 questions, and then getting their contact details at the end. And we're finding out, what type of home they want, what type of solar solution are they looking for, with a battery or without, when they're looking to get started, how old they are, how much they're currently spending on their electricity, is it a new system or an existing system, and how come they're interested in solar. Is it to save money? Is it to save the planet? Blah, blah, blah. And putting them through, this multi-step quiz funnel does result in good quality leads at the end, but you can't just rely on a landing page to get those good quality leads. It comes from the advert itself. And then, quick tip, stalk the Facebook ads library, see what your competitors are doing, and it is overpowered that you can literally see what ads they're running, how long they've been running them for, which is huge. These aren't our clients, AJ Renewables. These guys have really good ads. And then All SolarWorks, not our client, but they have really good ads. Find people in your local area that you know are doing well in solar and search them up on the Facebook ads library and have a look at what they're running. If they've been running the ad for, over a couple of weeks, then it's going to be performing. That these guys have been running this ad since January. They're not going to keep this ad live if it's not performing. So it's obviously doing well. So now that we've gone through how to get good quality leads coming through, how do you make sure you're actually generating appointments from these leads? First of all, I know I've already said it as a prerequisite, you need to have a CRM so that you're getting instant notifications when a lead comes through. This is going to allow you to call them within 5 minutes. If you don't have an automation set up and you don't know when the leads are coming through, how are you going to call them within 5 minutes? So make sure you have that set up, and then make sure you're calling all of the leads within 5 minutes. This is so important, and cannot be stressed enough how crucial speed to lead is, especially when solar is becoming, I wouldn't say it's a commodity, but it's becoming more and more competitive, right? More and more people want to get into solar. Electricians want to pivot from electrical work into just doing solar installs. So it's such a competitive environment. The lead that has filled out your ad, they've also filled out your competitor's ad. So you need to make sure you're calling them before your competitor to make sure you can get them booked in. Obviously, have a script that you're following, especially if you want to be, training up an appointment setter or a sales team to take care of this for you. Have a script that you're actually following with open-ended questions where you're looking to understand the customer and what they actually want to achieve out of solar. And then follow up as well is so huge, that just because the lead doesn't pick up within 5 minutes, let's say the lead comes through at 10 a.m., you call them 10:05. Obviously, double dial them as well. If they don't pick up, then call them at 1 p.m. If they don't pick up then, call them at 6 p.m. If they don't pick up that day, keep calling them 2-3 times a day for the next week, because if you want to see it as you're bothering the customer, cool. Have that mindset and just earn less money. But if you follow up more, you're going to earn more money. So make sure you're doing this properly. And they have shown interest in your service. If you're not doing your duty of following up with them properly, and then and given that you're confident that you deliver a good service, then you're doing the client a disservice by not doing your best to make them sign up with you. So make sure you're following up with these leads. Final point on that, you've paid £20 for this lead. You've paid Zuckerberg £20 for that lead. Make sure you get the most out of it, right? Don't just give up on them after calling them once or twice. I'm passionate about that. How to make sure you actually set appointments. So as I was saying earlier, the current constraint with our solar client is there's an issue with the sit rate, that we're getting a lot of booked appointments, but the sit rate isn't quite where we want it to be yet. So some things that we're doing the main thing we're doing is this smaller time window that I'll get into in a second. But two things you want to make sure you have dialed in to help with the sit rate is a nurture video. So as soon as you book the appointment, and you can have this on your appointment setting script, you can say, amazing, the appointment's booked in. What I'm going to do is shoot you over a video that explains exactly how our process works, so that you can learn a bit more about us as a business, just so you know who's coming around to your house, tomorrow at 10 o'clock, blah, blah, blah. And then create this video of, whoever's going to be sitting the sales appointment, ideally, where you're introducing your business, you're showing some case studies, you're walking them through the process of, you're going to have this conversation with them, you're then going to give them a quote, and then if they want to go ahead with the quote, these are the next steps, getting your install booked in, etc. Once the install is complete, this is the aftercare to get everything set up. And this makes you more unique, that a lot of installers aren't sending these nurture videos. If you're sending them, it's building up more trust, it's warming the prospect up. So then when you go round to that sales appointment, then there's such a higher likelihood of them, one, showing up because you've actually built up that trust, and obviously closing. And with getting maximum conversion out of these funnels, congruency is key. Like if you can have, let's say it's your business, you do the sales, you're in the adverts, you're then the one in the nurture video, you're the one coming to their door, then genuinely they will almost see you as a celebrity, that they've seen you so much online, they feel like they know you, and it just makes the sales process way smoother. If you have a sales rep, then try and get him in the ads, try and get him in the nurture video, or she. So yeah, get a nurture video set up that you're sending after you've booked the appointment, and stress the importance of people watching it to make sure they actually watch it. And then reminder sequences as well. You want to have these are super easy to set up through Go High Level. So when a lead books an appointment, they get an email confirming it, they get a text, a WhatsApp confirming it, and then a day before the appointment, they get all of those confirmations again. You can have the nurture video in these confirmations saying, hey, our appointment's tomorrow. Please make sure you've watched this video. And then day before the appointment and day of, call them to make sure they're still free. It will be so annoying if you're not confirming the appointment, you're going out and then they're busy. So yeah. And then this smaller time window. So if you're booking appointments out in 2 weeks' time versus you're booking them for tomorrow or the next couple of days, the shorter time span, the higher show up rate that you're going to have. So try and book them in as soon as possible. So how to actually sell and convert these appointments. I'm definitely not the best person to speak on this. I've never closed a solar deal in my life. So I would say get sales training, invest in sales training from someone that is good at selling solar. Trade Mastermind is obviously good. The Uncommon Trade Group, I think they have a sales coaching thing. Find a sales coach, invest in them, and learn from them. That sales is the best skill that you can have in business. If you can sell and bring that revenue in, you can fix all of the other problems in your business. But just a few points that I've sort of picked up on. You can use an inflation calculator in the sales presentation where you're basically forecasting out how much they're going to be spending on their energy bills if they don't go solar. And then, you're making that comparison of our system's 15K, you're going to be spending 80K over the next 30 years or whatever. What decision do you want to make? Rapport that people buy from people they like, right? Become their friend. Talk about stuff that's in their house. Where, oh, that's a nice picture. Where did you go on holiday? Oh, you have a bike. Are you into cycling? Build up rapport and make them like you, and it's going to be easier to convert the sale. Send the quote as soon as possible. You should be giving them the price whilst you're at the table with them so that you can go through any objections there. If for whatever reason you can't do that, send them the quote the same day or the next day. If you're sending, I don't think many people do this, but if you're sending the quote a week or 2 weeks after, I'm not going to say the R word, but you are stupid, right? Come on. And then, cool tip, get other solar sales reps to sell you. That find a competitor that you know is really good and book an appointment with them. Let them come around to your house and try and sell you. You could, if they know you and there's competition, then get one of your friends to sit the appointment and just be in the other room and listen to it. I think this is such an underrated tip that no one really does. In the marketing agency space, people are funnel hacking. Do it if you're a solar business, funnel hack your competitor, get them to come round and pitch you or your friend and see how their sales process works. So, how to create a flywheel of clients coming in. So, meaning from the clients that you're getting from your advertising, how can you make sure they're leading to more clients? So, Google review automations, as soon as the project is complete through your CRM on Go High Level or whatever it is, send them a link to leave you a Google review. What we have set up for our clients is, pardon me. So let's say it's gone really well. This is for a roofing company, and I say, yeah, there are 5 stars. Then it takes you to the Google review page, and you can leave something. Let's say it wasn't a great experience for whatever reason, and they say 3 stars only. Then it doesn't take them to your Google review page, which is gonna damage your reputation. You can just gather that feedback internally and improve on whatever their issues have been. But collecting collecting Google reviews is how you can create a positive flywheel, that if every customer leaves a review, you're going to rank higher on Google, which means you're going to get more inbound leads from your website, which means you're going to get more appointments, more sales that are going to leave a Google review, and it just snowballs. And then once they've left a Google review, you want to be incentivizing people to give a referral. And people cheap out on referrals so much. Let's say your acquisition cost is 600 quid to get a solar install. Why are you offering 20 quid as a referral? Offer them 200, 300 pounds, because you'd be spending double that to Meta, to Zuck. Would you rather pay Zuck 600 quid or or someone that you've already done business with. So create a referral incentive where you can be incentivizing people to leave these reviews. I think that's everything I have to say. I hope this was useful. If you want to get in touch and see if we can help out your solar business or any trades business, then check out our website, send me a WhatsApp. I'll put my number in the comment section. And yeah, thanks for watching.